What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? Ooh, hold on. That was a little bit too much. Y'all, my throat hurts so bad. And it's because of two things, but my throat hurts so bad. Um, but we back again for another episode or week's review of Beyond the Gates. This is episodes 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 65, 64 through 68. Okay. We finally got a full episode. Well, I should say a full week. I'm not going to be on here that long. I keep on saying it, and y'all already know I give y'all probably a 40-minute video. But hopefully not, because like I said, my throat is bothering me. It was bothering me yesterday. And then I think I pushed it when I was out last night. So there's that. But anyway, let's just get into it. Derek and Ashley, they good. Moving on from there. Andre, get over it, okay? Get over it. That longing that they have him being and have him looking when it comes to her, I'm so tired of it, okay? You go over there and you know, thinking, because he almost got his hopes up because when he found out that, Derek wasn't back in the house anymore with Ashley, he kind of had a little glimmer of hope in his eyes, thinking that, he might be able to slide up in there. No, he's just not staying in that house. They still very much together. And at this point, I don't know, it's giving something of the fact that they're going to try to make it seem like this probably going to be a reason for Derek and Ashley to break up. Because even though they're back together, which they never broke up, but, he's back at his old place. She got her own place. It's like the vibes is kind of off with them a little bit now. That's what they're trying to show. And then because you thought you had a little something right there, you could slide up in there, you go over to Danny place. And now you want to have a little relationship with her. Andre, I'm going to need you to understand this. Although I'm okay with you having a little relationship, but you start off in a situationship. Y'all, we got to put boundaries and we got to put our intentions out right there on the forefront, okay? Now, if we get into something and it ain't supposed to be nothing serious, it's supposed to be something playful, it's supposed to be a situationship, please put that out there on the forefront. If you cannot hold back your feelings after you done did it with somebody, because they done did it to you that damn good, you don't need to be in a situationship. And I feel like that's what it is with Andre. And honestly, I do feel like Andre has real feelings for Danny. You know how them young boys do. They like the older women. Yeah, they'll make you fall. They'll make you fall real quick because they know what they're doing for the most part. But at the same time, I just feel like it's just compensating for the fact that he really wants Ashley. She's not giving him any type of play or any type of feelings that she wants him, or will leave her man for him. So let me go to the next person right about now who's actually giving me a little bit of attention, who actually needs me for something, even though she's only using me for sexual purposes, okay? And that's basically what's going on with Danny. He wants a lot more from her than Danny is willing to give. Do I feel as though Danny do got a little bit of feelings for him? Possibly, but not as much as she or he got for her. And that's because she is not over Bill, all right? And that conversation that Andre and her had, granted, he was right. I don't need to be here with somebody that's pounding over their ex and I'm trying to tell them my feelings about them. That's true. But at the same time, what Danny was saying was true as well. Like, sir, I literally just got out of a divorce. I got out of a marriage that's probably was 20 plus years long. The man did me so goddamn wrong. And you want me to, my trust is not there. Okay. And plus she's still in the process of healing. She ain't over that man. And even if she's not over the man, she's not over the situation. She's not over the hurt. Not necessarily man, but we already know she's going to forever be in love with Bill. Okay. That's never going to stop. And so there's that. And he knew that from the jump. Okay. He knew that from the jump. And I know it's natural to develop feelings even if you don't want to have those feelings, but you also have to be understanding and you cannot rush the next person to do what they're not ready to do. Now, if it's all that is sex that could be provided and that's what you're okay with, go ahead. But if not, No, you're going to have to break that off. Now, I cannot wait until next week because Pamela already knew. You know, she figured that thing out about Andre and, Danny last week, right? I can't wait until the kids find out. And when Vernon pop up, I said, damn, Daddy, you don't lock your doors. This is the second time somebody that came up into your house within the next 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks, and you ain't had your door locked. Okay? But there's that. And so we got them out the way. Oh. And that's what's been happening too. That's how I know it's multiple things that's going on. Like the cough is just, mind you, ill. All right, that just felt very ill with. But anyway, I apologize. Bear with me, people. Like, I ain't got nothing else wrong with me, just my throat. Oh, Lord have mercy. Please don't come back and let me come back on here tomorrow and be like, girl, I just don't feel good at all because I don't need a summer cold right now. I don't. Meanwhile, we got all that going on. Who else? Let's just get up into it. First of all, Chelsea got a little bit of game, okay? Chelsea got a little bit of game, but the bitch is weird. And I'm not talking about Chelsea. I'm talking about Miss Madison. Now, Madison, you cute or whatever. But you gave me red flags like a mug. What are you hiding? I mean, we saw what she was hiding at the end, but why are we hiding that? It's like, do you already know who she is? Okay. Chelsea was sitting at the bar, and one day, she was sitting at the bar, okay? She was sitting at the bar, and if you caught that, and we good. Both versions, all right? So, she was sitting at the bar, her and Kat was trying to go over some things. I think, was that this week? Either way, she was sitting at the bar at Orphy Jeans. Is it Orphy Jeans? The club, okay? And so, the girl was sitting at the end. She was looking at her. Chelsea caught it. And Chelsea said, you know what? Bump this. Okay? Like, only live once, and I got to get out here and go for mans. Okay? You fan, I'm fan. You was looking at me, I'm looking at you. I caught it. Okay? What's good? How you doing? What's your name is? What you do? And I was like, you know what? All right, Chelsea, I wish I had that type of confidence. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could do that. But I like how she went about that. And then, the girl, she was just being very evasive, but engaging a little bit. And then, to not want to talk about, to try to say that she wasn't looking at her. She was just in deep thought about this and in deep thought about that. But you was looking in her direction. You was smiling all up in her face and everything. Girl, what are you trying to hide? We found out her name is Madison. And, they in D.C., so we thinking maybe she political, maybe she, government agency, some type of shit like that. She said, girl, I can't tell you what it is. And I said, girl, what? You a spy? What's going on? I said, you working sex? You a stripper by night and a lady by day? What is going on? You getting very aloof. You getting very evasive. And I said, Chelsea, do we really want to? I mean, that probably would have intrigued me too. I ain't even gonna lie. And then I still would have been like, the red flags are there, but at the same time, it's like, girl, what? But then the conversation was cute. Like, what do you think about this, the meaning of life, and what's the purpose of life, and, what was the part that your biggest ate, meaning like, you ate that, that saying and all that stuff. And they was getting a little bit deep. And then Chelsea get a phone call. She get a text message or something like that. And she looked down to see what it is. Because Naomi had texted her to tell her what was going on with Bill. Okay. Girl, she looked back up and, girl had gone. What? Huh? Like, why would you do that? What? I was confused. I was all of the confusions. And it was weird. She ducked about it like she was running from somebody. Okay, I said, damn, did Chelsea do something to you? I mean, she just met you. What's happening? Do you know her? First, you won't tell her where you at, what your name is, barely. You won't tell her what your job is, but you know all about her. And it's just like, all right. I honestly, On the one hand, I get Madison because I'm that same type of person. Like, I don't give off too much. I give you the very, very basic, but I ain't finna get too goddamn deep and give you all my information right out the way. I gotta actually be able to trust you. Okay, we got to get to that point where I can actually give you that. So I get it, kinda. But this is at the moment when we found out that Bill has to go to the hospital. Now, Haley was over there at the crib. Now, let me tell you something, Haley. I don't know. Do y'all think Haley pregnant for real? I know they're trying to do everything to make us think that she pregnant and all of that, but I don't know. And you want to know why? Like, the way that she popped up at Danny's house. First of all, Danny, again, why your door is not locked? Okay, that's another story. But the way that she popped up at Danny's house and, to show her a pregnancy test, I was with Danny. Like, damn, bitch, if you really pregnant and you say what you say and you ain't got no, you ain't had none, go ahead, since you want to prove a point, go ahead and let's order a pregnancy test from DoorDash and you piss on a stitch right now in front of me, okay? Or we can go down to the doctor and we can do a blood test. She didn't want to do neither. Okay, now hold on. I get it. One, I shouldn't have to do that. Okay, I shouldn't have to do that. Because who the freak are you? But obviously, you wanted to prove a point to Danny, and you should have known that Danny would have told you or said do some shit like that. So you should have been prepared to do something like that. I mean, I get it. Okay, but Danny, lock your doors. Okay, lock your doors. I want everybody in Fairmont Crest to lock their doors, all right? Just because we're guarded by security, lock your doors. And so, of course, Haley had to go back down into the office and tell Bill what the freak was going on. And I'm just like, girl, you just be making situations bigger, okay? And you making problems where if it was an issue, it could have died down, but you want to make it bigger, okay? Then Bill had invited Naomi to come down there. Mind you, this is after Bill had talked to Tomas and said, because that committee of them women that was trying to sue him for sexual harassment and a toxic work environment, they back at the crib, or I should say at the job. So he want Tomas to basically spy on them and see what they talking about. And then now he want him to spy on his family to make sure everything cool, because Chelsea and Naomi not really talking about him or talking to him right now like that, and get some information out of them just in case something going on. I said, sir, if you was a decent person, you wouldn't have to go through all of this. So he leave out. This when Haley comes in. This when Naomi comes in. Naomi pissed about this whole thing because he like, this is the way that you get us together. And then she was like, anyway, she was like, I was trying to listen to I'm so goddamn nosy. Girl, if I hear some voices, I'm finna go to the door and I'm finna listen like, what the hell is going on? Anyway, Naomi was pissed because she said, you literally booked me while I put this on my schedule while I'm at work to come down here just for you to do what? To tell her that she pregnant. And then the way that Haley was like, oh, this is something to bring us together, once and for all, as if a baby really was going to bring y'all together. Absolutely not. Okay? Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. A baby don't keep a relationship together, and a baby don't bring siblings together. Okay? It don't fix relationships at all. It really don't. And I don't understand, why do they have Haley being so delusional? Even Bill. Bill, you're smart as hell, right? Why don't you guys understand that you cannot force a situation, and when you force it with somebody, sometimes for the most part it's gonna have people or that particular person push back even more, okay? Because you're not giving them that time. You're not respecting their wishes to just deal with the shit on their own until they're ready to actually talk to you and want to miss you and want to get back together. No, you talk about, so, oh, you finally got a brother and a sister that you wanted. Naomi said, well, bitch, me and Chelsea wanted a brother or a sister when we were kids. We're grown-ass women now, okay? That baby is going to be generations away from us, all right? Like, come on, who the kid? And that don't mean that I got to come over here and see you and don't ask me to babysit, okay? Like, listen. It is what it is. Like, the baby, it ain't the baby's fault. If the baby is real, it ain't the baby's fault. But I just wouldn't want to be a part of it. I just wouldn't want to be a part of it. Case in point, I mean, we don't know, but I can kind of figure that my girls don't talk to they have siblings who are generation younger than them. Y'all know who my girl is. My girls. Beyonce and Solange. Y'all remember them. Y'all know that they got steps, what is it? Half brother, half sisters. From their daddy. That's part of the reason why it took so long for them to be cool. And you see, that took years for that relationship to mend. Alright, with the daddy. So, bitch, y'all gonna have to wait. Okay, y'all gonna have to wait and let me get over it first. I don't know if I ever get over. Like, bitch, you did all of this, and then you get with this girl who once was my friend, came into the picture, took my mama man, and then you want to get married to her, and then now you want to knock her ass up, and now you over here. She's like, girl, you did all this just to humiliate me. Here go Bill. I didn't do this to him. I said, oh my God, he's stroking now. He stroked it. Oh no, Mr. Billiam. Okay. Now, you know, she was like, Naomi was like, I told you daddy to get that fixed. Like, go ahead. Because, you know, you said your arm, your right hand kept on going numb and all that stuff. And Haley was like, yeah, bitch, wait a minute. You said that was only a one-time thing. Okay, when you couldn't hold the pen. So it been doing this for a minute. Girl, they had to drag his ass up there to the hospital because you know how men are. I don't give a good goddamn if they black, white, whoever. Men just don't like to go to the doctor. Okay? A lot of black men for sure. But men in general just don't like to go to the doctor. All right, you have to drag their ass to go see what the hell is going on. Okay, and when they get up in there, they basically said that he had a TIA, meaning it's like a mini stroke, but it ain't a real. It's not something to be. It's something to look out for. Like, they don't need to really hospitalize them, but they should. But at the same time, you can go if you want to, but just understand that, you know, it could resolve itself, but at the same time, it could be leading up to something more serious, like an actual full-blown stroke. You know, and stroke is like the blood constriction to the brain and all that stuff, whatever. And the next thing you know, what half of your body ain't working, okay? And then you just all fucked up. Y'all fucked up. And so, Bill, being the person that he is, he don't want to stay. Regardless, even if it's for one night for observation, he don't want to stay. Naomi wound up telling Danny what was up, and Danny did come down there. And let me tell you this. I may be a little naive, but we are in the soap world. Okay? I wouldn't be surprised if Bill fuck around on Haley with Danny. Do I feel like Bill is 100% over Danny? Absolutely not. Bill still loves that lady, okay? He may not be in strong love with her, but he definitely loves her, and I can see him getting comfort from her, okay? I really can, because the way that she came down there and spoke to him, she wasn't, you know, trying to be like, nah, this is what happened, karma and all this stuff. She was like, no, baby, we need to get your ass. You got to get to who you are, okay? We need to get you together. We need to get you in better shape. You got to be here for your kids, okay? I know how you hate hospitals and all this stuff. Bill was not trying to listen to Haley and them, but when Danny Stan came up in there, oh, he was listening. He was listening and thanked her for coming. Baby, the whole time, Haley was just sitting there all uncomfortable and just like, ain't this about a bitch? And I said, yes, Haley, you will forever be second choice. And truth be told, you're probably not even second choice, okay? Somebody else was probably, I'm pretty sure it was some people before you. And you just so happened to make the cut this time. That's just what it is. I don't care how Bill feel, how you feel, how crazy Danny is. Danny is always going to be his number one. That's really just what it is. And that scene just showed me that. Because you can go through all that and you can still care. And then that lady did all that to you in retaliation to what you did to her. And you still care about what she thinking, yeah, okay. That's why that reminds me of like Papoose and Remy. All that mess that they went through a couple of weeks ago, putting their stuff on blast, and the way that Clarissa be out here she be trying to prove so hard that she is in a good relationship with a good man. She was like, oh, my man, you know, when you in a relationship with a man that don't cheat, mind you, you are in a relationship with a married man who was cheating on his wife, and they were cheating on each other, and they're not even divorced. And mind you, you got into a relationship with this man before he even filed for divorce. For real. Like, come on. Yeah, it's given the same. Like, soon as the relationships break up, Papu and Remy going right back to each other. Okay, that's just really what it is, and that's what Bill and Danny giving. Okay, so Po Andre, Po Haley, it is what it is. Moving on from that, of course, he went on ahead and checked himself out that hospital. You checked yourself out that hospital, went to work the next day like a nigga will. Okay, one thing about it, baby, these bills ain't gonna pay themselves. Okay, I need to make it seem like I ain't worried, so let me go ahead and distract myself and go ahead and work. Okay, Bill did that, and he has a call off early. He cleared his whole schedule only to get there and to stroke out at the house. Baby, what? Baby, what? The way that he was playing around with Haley, I said, now, Haley, you see the way that man get up? He ain't never got up like that. He got up like his back, his ass, his thighs, and his knees hurt all at the same damn time. Like his body weighed 2 tons, okay? And then you up here about, are you okay? Are you okay? No, he's not okay. And then you up here trying to get a little noogie from him. Oh my God, it was giving very much how he died on top of me, because that's how he was bumbling and stumbling. I said, oh my God, get him up, he can't breathe. Girl, a mess. Had to take his ass to the hospital. That's what's the end of their storyline for this week. I said, damn, he stroked out. That's just basically what it was. Meanwhile, let me talk about this. Ooh. I'm annoyed. It's getting irritating. It's getting irritating. But Doug, Vanessa, and Joey, now Joseph, I ain't gonna lie, I was here for all that little scene that happened last week on that poker table. That was cute. It was cute. It was fitting, right? How dare you bring that lady down there back to that poker table, and then y'all up in that room reminiscing? And I mean, she reminiscing hard, and she was like, I can't imagine all the other things that happened on this poker table. He said, yeah, this happened, you were this, and you were that. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, what's gonna happen? Baby, he said, we got somebody else coming. Whoa, Doug. I said, God damn. So now you gonna make it, mind you, I'm pretty sure Vanessa's kitty was just purring. It was just doing all type of backflips in her drawers while in her lingerie while he was just up there. They was reminiscing of what happened the night before, and then Judge popped in and she was like, now hold up, what the fuck are you doing here? Girl, Joey said, listen, at the end of the day, your husband is a goddamn gambling addict. He in debt with me for $250,000. God damn it, dog. He said $250,000. I said, now, hold up, that's $250,000. My man said, well, damn, bitch, I really thought it was like 50,000, maybe almost 100. 250? 250? Girl. And Vanessa started figuring it out, because he was like, no, I want your business. I was like, wait a minute, bitch. Because Vanessa said, wait a minute, you want me to pay this? Absolutely the fuck not. Joey said, no, I don't want you to pay it. Okay, I want your business. And she said, you want my business so that you can run your money through it and clean it? That's illegal as fuck. And he was like, ding, ding, ding. At least we know who got the brains in this goddamn marriage. I said, well, shit, bitch. Because Doug couldn't figure it out at first. Doug didn't figure it out at first. But Vanessa did right away. And I said, God damn. Vanessa was so pissed. She was pissed at Joey. She was pissed at Douglas. Okay. And Doug had the nerve to say, I hope to see you later when we come home. We'll talk about this. Baby, if I was Vanessa, I wouldn't have never came home. I said, damn, Vanessa, you opened up your legs to the wrong person. And mind you, the way that Joey was looking, I feel like Joey probably got a little thing for real with Vanessa. He feel a little something, slightly. I was like, you a devious motherfucker. I kind of like your style a little bit, but I can't say he breaking up homes, because that marriage was already broken. She don't like Douglas like that. Okay, that's why she been cheating all these years. She been cheating forever and a day. That was that. Meanwhile, we got this whole situation with Kat. Kat, I get it. You want to be a detective so bad, girl, but you getting on my nerves a little bit, because it's getting like, you tunnel vision. And I know that you really want to solve this because you feel like these bitches came in and just fucked my goddamn family up. Understandable. But you gotta balance it out. Okay? You got a business to run. But you focusing too much on this whole case and you not letting Jacob do his job. I mean, it's fuck Jacob forever, but you still not letting him do his job, right? I gotta make me a hot toddy. Can you make hot toddy with whiskey? Because I got me some Sir Davis back there. Got another bottle. That shit is good, bitch. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And put that shit on the rocks. All right. But I gotta, I'm gonna look it up. And I was just like, let the man do his job, because you are in that restaurant and then, or that little diner, and then here comes Leslie. And this is over there with Leslie and Mona and all this stuff. And when they found out about the motorcycle jacket and all that, okay, cool. And I'm just sitting here like, please don't do what I think you're gonna do. She did exactly what I thought that she was gonna do. I said, oh my God, you couldn't prove me wrong. You want to be a detective so bad, why are you giving away the information to the suspect? She said, bitch, I found a jacket and it had the receipt and this was this and this and that. I said, why are you giving her all this information so that she can go back and figure out a plan to come up with an alibi and say that it's not hers? And truth be told, I get it. But at the same time, I feel like they did that because they already knew that they can't use that against her. They can't use it against her because Leslie, right off the bat, like, she's a professional liar. She's a professional storyteller. You know what I'm saying? It takes nothing. It takes less than half a second for her to come up with an answer. And she was like, yeah, I had a jacket, but that was years ago. And it is what it is. You can't say that that's mine. Okay? And she's honest about it. She ain't honest about the fact that ain't her jacket, but she honest about the fact that you can't say that it's hers. She can't prove it. Okay? And so now they go down to the they go to the police station, and even Jacob is kind of pissed off because at the same time, yeah, this could have been her jacket, which technically it is, but we can't prove it because, Kat, you got your hands and your DNA all up on it, and you put the bitch on. So we got two conflicting DNAs on. We don't know. You probably wiped off her DNA and put yours on there. Your DNA gonna be the last one on that bitch, okay? So, like, let him do his job. That's basically what he's saying, because you fucking it up. I get you want to go ahead and solve this case the way that you need to solve it, because you want vindication that you was right. We know that you was right, okay? But at the same time, we gotta follow the law, and we gotta follow everything to the T so we won't fuck up things and then let the bitch get off because we done messed up. That's like getting a murder, and we just seen them do it. But because they didn't get read the Miranda rights, you get off. That's what we don't want to happen, Mr. Cat, okay? Kitty, you gotta calm it down just a little bit. But you're coming in handy. I will say, you're on the right track. By the end of the episode with her, it was cute because she solved the case. But here's the thing. I'm gonna need her to get a hobby too. The fact that Tomas still wants her, and we found out that he actually wants her, that's interesting. Because if you're not giving me no attention and we're supposed to be in the process of trying to get to know each other, you go do what you got to do, and you come back to me if I'm available. And if I want it when you're through. Okay? That type of situation. But at the same time, you whipping Nicole into this. Nicole, Leslie just got her nerves. Leslie will really pop up. She done popped up on, what's his name? Ted. Popped up on Eva because Ted was in the restaurant talking to Eva. Okay, I don't even give a fuck about the Eva little sob stories and all that stuff and how people treating her. Girl, it's what you deserve at this point because you a grown-ass woman. But she leave the restaurant. Nicole come in, they stand there face to face or whatever. Girl, it'll never be the same. Okay, it'll never be the same, Eveline. And then here come goddamn Ted was trying to talk to Nicole, was like, we're not supposed to be talking. And was like, well, we could talk and you ain't telling me to stop. Okay, so I'm going to just continue to talk until you tell me to stop. All right. And while this process was going on, here come Leslie. Oh, what a coincidence and all this stuff. Let me tell you something, Nicole, you just walked out. Please, now, let me tell you something. I be seeing the footage, the little videos that they be posting. Nicole, first of all, the actress that played Nicole, bitch, you fan as fuck. I ain't even realize it. The makeup that they put on her, okay, it kind of make her look a little older, on the show. Because who she is in real life, That natural beauty, bitch. I said, goddamn, Nicole, you can't say. And I don't even fuck with light skins like that. I said, girl, you a hot mama. Okay. I said, mama be out here doing it well. And I said, in real life, Nicole, Miss Lady who play her, she gives that she'll be the bitch ass if she needs to. She really does. So the way that they got her character written, that she's supposed to be the one that's so composed. You know, she's the anti-Danny. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got Danny who husband did all that he did and she poured a gun on. And she going all up into his house and messing it up and all that stuff. But then you got Nicole who husband literally had a baby on her, cheated on her while she was trying to get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Going through postpartum and going through depression and all this shit. And the lady keep on popping up and she just won't give in. You a strong bitch. Cause I ain't never that mature. Cause that 10 bitch, I'm telling you, Leslie in her head, Leslie in her hair, Leslie in her that silk press would have been a fuzzy ass afro by the time I got through with her ass, okay? I would have ranged her through the goddamn floor. Girl, rug burns all on the side of her face, cause that's what would have happened. But Nicole, she too classy for that. Nicole, she just walked away. She said, Tad, handle your bitch and walk the fuck off. I said, oh, you better than me. And that's why Leslie keep doing what she doing, because ain't nobody putting hands on her. And when I mean by hands, you ain't necessarily got to fight the bitch. Choke her up a little bit. But then again, let me take that back, because she the type that like it, you know, because I like stuff like that too. So let me just take that back. No, you probably really got to punch that bitch, okay? Now, I ain't advocating for violence. But I'm saying, and I ain't telling Ted to do that. Cat, you got to do something too, because the bitch keep on talking about your ass too. All right, like trying to get a restraining order against Cat. What in the DDG is going on? Bitch, are you serious? You out here doing all this shit, causing all this drama, and then you want to get a restraining order against? Girl, if you don't get the hell up out of here. But you got that going on. Then she go up there to Ashley and Derek at one point. Derek had to step to her and say, yo, it ain't it. I said, God damn, Derek, now that's a woman. Calm down. But he was talking to her like, you know, in a calm way, like, no, you're not finna talk to my lady. My lady ain't got shit to do with you. She don't want to bother you or whatever, so you can get the fuck on. I said, all right, Derek. You know, Derek, you got a cool point for me this week. For real, I never thought I'd say it. But the way you stood up for your woman, all right, even though it was to another woman, but she was psychotic. So yeah, you do get a cool point. But you better be on the lookout, because ain't no telling she'll put your girl on the goddamn list too. Okay? Went up there trying to talk to Shanice at the hospital, and Shanice said, hell no, bitch, I know who the fuck your ass is, and absolutely the fuck not. We not finna do this. And no, ain't nobody finna push it on me, but baby, we know who you are. Okay? Get the hell out. Then you go over there trying to talk to Andre to see a video footage. Why would you show him? Why would he show her that? I said, oh my goodness. Everybody's trying to tell her off, but y'all also giving her the information that she needs indirectly. And you don't really understand that that's what you're doing. Laura finally gets out the hospital. She go back over there to working with Nicole, and then they throw her little surprise Mona and Kat and Nicole. And when she tried to get back to it or whatever, you know, she not really indulging into what Kat's saying, even though they thinking that Kat feels like Eva and Leslie were the ones that tried to, you know, take Laura out, even though it was just Leslie ass, right? And so they try to put it out there like, and even Laura said, I don't know too much about Eva, but at the same time, I feel more strongly that it's Leslie, you know, because Leslie's kind of scary, you know what I'm saying? And so Laura, she wasn't even going to talk to Eva, whatever, but she had to, because whatever program software that Eva put on on the computer to organize Nicole's stuff is different from what she had on there, and she can't figure it out. So she needed to talk to Eva, and I feel like Eva is about to get a friend. Eva is about to get a friend, even though Laura tried to make it seem like she don't really want to, but the way that they kind of left it off, and the fact that, you know, she called her a second time to get help, yeah, I won't be surprised if Eva and Laura decide to be cool, and then this kind of affects the situation with Laura working for Nicole and Kat's friendship with Laura and all that stuff, whatever. But yeah, that's that. Meanwhile, Kat, again, Jacob telling her, leave shit alone, leave shit alone, leave shit alone. Somehow they was able to get a warrant for Leslie's apartment, that little ass apartment. Bitch, they ain't find shit, okay? Kat suggested that they go up at Eva's apartment or hotel room, get a warrant and all that stuff. Couldn't do that because it ain't nothing, no substantial evidence or whatever, or just called to go up in there to look for nothing. Because, you know, she feels as though Eva is intentionally and purposely hiding, you know, stuff for Leslie. In actuality, she did take the motorcycle hat and helmet and the gloves, but she wasn't doing that because the cops are looking for her. She was doing that, as she told Leslie, because now you're going to have to work the way that I need you to work. Okay, bitch? Things about to change. Okay? She's using it against Leslie to keep her ass in line somewhat, but not because the cops is looking into her. So no, it's not to save her, but that's exactly what's happening, right? Up until Kat sweet-talked herself into Eva's room, went through a box which was a red herring or misdirect, and you'll think that that's the box that would have had the motorcycle helmet and stuff in there, but it wasn't. It was a book. Somehow Kat and Eva and Tomas was down at the little diner having a little conversation. She said something about a book, and she was like, come back to my hotel now, I'll give it to you. He said, okay. Bitch, if I'm talking to somebody else, I'm not going to another bitch hotel room. If you want to give me a book, when the next time you see me, which probably be the next day, say I'll break it down to you. That's what you do, Tomas, okay? Because what if Kat hadn't been up in that goddamn room underneath that bed and not heard what was going on? Eva could have been, you know, because it's Kat, Eva could have been like, yeah, that's why your man was up in my hotel room doing the things that he was doing to me that we do up in hotel rooms. But, like, Kat, come on. I mean, yeah, Tomas, come on. Be a little bit more smart. But he did curve her, okay? Because Eva tried to kiss him, and he said, listen, girl, we can be friends, but this ain't gonna happen. I said, what? You not easy like that? Okay. Tomas, you kind of shocked me. And said, you know what? It's not that, you know, I'm really getting to know somebody. You don't know Kat the way that I know Kat. And she got me. Okay. And I said, word? Oh, okay. Kat underneath that bed just smiling. And while she was underneath the bed, she found a goddamn book bag that had the helmet and the gloves in it. Okay. And so when Tomas laughed, Eva was sitting on the bed in her feelings a little bit. She get a phone call from Laura, who needed her again, so she leaves out. And because at first I was like, damn, Kat, you stuck underneath the bed. How long you gonna be underneath there? How you gonna escape? But that was her way to get out, and she just cheesing because now she got the motorcycle helmet in the back, the gloves. And thank God this time she had the gloves, but she had her own gloves on, so her own fingerprints won't get on the stuff. I said, oh my God, you're thinking now, okay? Meanwhile, when when they was in that restaurant, Naomi and Chelsea was sitting down, and then all of a sudden, here come Madison. And Chelsea looked at her like, hey, girl. And then it was like, who was that? Because she had already told her sis, like, yeah, girl, I had just got out of this thing with this girl. Kind of found out she don't even fuck with me like that or whatever. She was like, you like girls like that now? She's like, I do and do. What about it? She's like, girl, ain't nothing. I'm just saying, you know, it is what it is. You do what you got to do. And Madison just popped up. They was like, how you know each other? Madison said, we don't. And I said, bitch. I said, Madison, what the fuck is going on? Okay, and Chelsea told her how they met. Chelsea told her what went down and everything. Girl, I hope the lighting's okay because I only got I ain't turned the actual lights on and, you know, sunny. But she told her all of that, right? She told her all of that, right? And Naomi was me. Bitch, red flags, okay? Fuck that bitch, okay? If she can't tell you nothing or whatever, and you got to go all around the corner for it, that ain't the one for you, okay? I said that exactly. Girl, we found out Madison is a doctor at the fucking hospital. And not only is she a doctor, she's helping Bill. So now Naomi and Chelsea finds out because Derek winds up calling or texting Naomi. No, calling Naomi and telling her that, yeah, they just brought Bill ass up into the hospital. You may want to come down. And so, they go down. And so now we're going to realize that, oh, bitch, you a fucking doctor? That's what you didn't want to tell me? Well, I'm a goddamn model. So what? We both make a little bit of change. I probably make a little bit more than you. So what's the reason? What's the goddamn reason, bitch? Okay, I really want to know. Madison, you didn't pique my interest. What did I say? 40 minutes. A little bit more. Because we still ain't even got to the Anita. Girl, Anita and the Dream Girls. Anita Dupree is giving Anita, Diana, Dina, Ross Jones Dupree. That's her name. Okay, she's giving Diana Ross, she's giving Dina Jones, Supremes, Dream Girl, all the girl groups back in the 60s and everything. Come to find out, Anita was a selfish bitch. I said, damn, Anita, I knew it was something going on. I said, come on, you from Cabrini Green. As soon as they said that she was from Cabrini Green, I said, well, what can you expect? I ain't trying to excuse it, but you got to have some tough shit behind you to survive all that shit out there, girl. So, But Anita also allowed their manager, Dante, to come in and to basically fill her head up and make it seem as if she was the one that had the star potential. And it's given very much kind of colorism type of situation. Because if you go back and you look at the Dream Girls type situation with Dina was a little bit lighter than Laurel. She was a little bit lighter than Effie, and especially, smaller and all that stuff. Is given very much that aesthetic. Okay, so of course she probably, from what they said in the movie, Dina didn't have the best voice, but she had a commercialized voice, the better voice was Effie according to them, but I really feel like it was Laurel. But there's that, but that's what it's given, because Sharon said, bitch, I was the one that was singing. Okay, I was the one that had the goddamn voice. But no, Dante came in and said, put your ass in front. And we had to sing background. Baby, I don't understand how groups did this, okay? Now, we got some groups that did survive because all the members can sing. All the members can sing. In Vogue, that's one of the ones that really popped up. Every last one of them hoes up in there, they can sing. All right, they can hold a lead, It's my girl, y'all know it. But listen, bitch, I wouldn't have been able to survive Destiny's Child. Because I would have been like, bitch, can I sing something? Oh my God, I'm going to start coughing again. But I'm dead serious, girl. I would have been like, damn, bitch, I know how to sing too. My name ain't Farrah. Okay? And I'm talking about Destiny DC4. DC4. All right, give me a goddamn, I want a couple of solos too. Can I get a couple of ad-libs on that bitch too? Let me stop. But yeah, it's giving very much that. And Sharon was like, girl, fuck you. You doing all this shit because you want to clear your little conscience or whatever. Meanwhile, we was out here struggling, shucking and jiving for a couple of change. Okay? While you out here with your name on the big marquee. All right? You out here solo. And you doing this. And you basically said, fuck me and fuck Tracy. All right? I said, oh, shit. Now, let me tell you something. The peoples really weren't here for Sharon coming at Anita the way that she was coming at her. But if you really think about it, and if you be real with yourself, Sharon ain't did nothing wrong, okay? She is not wrong for feeling the way that she feel, all right? You could say that she bitter, you could say that she miserable, you could say that she holding on to hurt, and she absolutely is, and she has every right to. Because her dream was taken away from her because Anita was selfish. And Anita threw them to the wayside. And that's what we see it happening time and time again. She didn't get him a hand up, and she didn't, she put her needs before the groups, okay? And then to go a little bit further, we found out that the Articulates weren't even Anita's group. It was Barbara's group. Barbara had sent her a goddamn letter. Not a 4-page, 1-page, okay? She said, girl, listen, it's deep, but it ain't even that deep. You ain't even worth a 4-page letter, bitch. She said, you know what? If you reading this shit, I'm already gone. Okay, I done took myself out. But bitch, fuck you, because you the one that took the group from me. Okay, you allowed Dante to say, bitch, you can't even sing right. All right, you gonna have to get the fuck out the group. I said, oh my God, Anita, You did that. And I said, damn, I tell his oldest son, you didn't let this man come in and break up the sisterhood. Damn. Oh, girl, it went from a quartet to a trio. Damn. And no, nobody even talk about Barbara like that. All right. And then, you had Sharon and Tracy sitting down there at the diner. And Sharon was like, you know what? We gonna do this goddamn reunion. You wanna know why? Because whether it's a whole ass tour, even though I kind of cussed Anita out and said, bitch, I ain't gonna do it because you got me fucked up the way that you did, and I'm not trying to help you clear your conscience and all that shit. But now that I think about it, I can work this shit to my advantage. And this is what I'm not really mad at Sharon for either. Because had it been me, bitch, I would have tried to do the same thing. Okay? And if it was some of y'all too, you would have tried to do the same thing. Because Anita is the bigger name. So let me go ahead and hitch my wagon back to this hoe and go ahead and try to get my name back out there. Because she had told her, bitch, when we was together, I had record deals coming to me. I had people coming to me. But then when you want to lead a group, all them deals and shit want to go away. So you took my goddamn dream from me too. I said, oh. She was like, bitch, I turned shit down. Because I was here for the group. But you get an offer and you just took that shit. It was given very much Frankie Lyman and Teenagers. You go solo. Y'all remember that scene in Why the Fools Fall in Love when Miguel, I think it was Miguel, oh boy, he found out that he was going solo when they was at that little party and they started fighting. That's what it was given. Okay. And so Sharon was like, you know what? We're going to do the little reunion, whether it's a one-night thing, whether it's a tour, and then we're going to come together. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get, because my voice is still there. And I'm going to get my deal, and I'm going to be out here solo dolo. Okay, that's what it is. Tracy just a lackey. Okay, at this point, I know she want to be the neutral person, the peacemaker. That's what they said last week. But she a lackey at this point. She kind of weak to me. But at the same time, Sharon is putting her motives out there on Front Street. What the hell is going on with Tracy? Because when Vernon called her, the way that she answered that phone and said, well, hello, Mr. Senator. I said, excuse me, don't answer my, first of all, Vernon, why you calling that lady? Okay? Your wife should have called her. All right? Tracy, why are you talking to that lady's husband like that? Baby, you been eyeballing him, and I know I hadn't been see. I said, maybe I was saying some things. But when you answer that phone on this episode, girl, I said, what the hell is going on? Tracy, you a sneaky bitch. You trying to get Vernon? Okay, I'm going to keep my eye on you. Meanwhile, you got that going on. And he basically said, Anita called everything off. Now, if you really want this shit to happen, you're going to have to come down here and convince her. Okay? And so she wound up telling Tracy, Sharon the next day that it's off. But they went over here and they went over there to Anita's place. And Anita thought that they was going to come there and cuss her ass out. Anita cussed their ass out first. And what Anita said was true. I ain't even going to hold you. She said, bitch, you want to make it seem like I'm the fucking bad guy. But when Barbara fucking unalived herself and she left the group, I ain't seen none of y'all say stop the group. I ain't seen none of y'all say let's grieve. I ain't seen none of y'all do that. What y'all do? Y'all kept the fucking group going. I said, oh, clock it. You better clock it. Okay. I said, what? Anita, you had that. She said, well, if you got some other shit to say, you could take it and shove it up your ass with a shut don't sign. I said, oh shit. Bitch, Sharon said, oops, you told me. And then let me tell you something. You need to calm the fuck down because I wasn't even coming in here to tell you all that shit. I was just finna say, bitch, I was cool with what you want to do. I know I came at your throat earlier, but you know I'm all here for the reunion. Anita said, well, too fucking late, bitch. Oh my God, this show is something else. I am loving it. But yeah, y'all, that's the episode. 50 minutes, almost. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I gotta go get some warm water, cold, hot water. Cause goddamn, this is a lot. Y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.